Alright, so today's video we're watching a gold 5 DPS on PC. They're going to be playing a bit of Hanzo and Sombra. They say, so this has been my most active season of Overwatch competitive since launch. And I sadly have nothing to show for it. It's been kind of disappointing, honestly. I've played 237 games this season. I won 115 and I lost 120. I feel like I'm getting nowhere lately. I catch a decent win streak and then get reduced to atoms by a literal 9-game loss streak. In this game, I feel like I did an okay job of staying with my team and making decent plays, but I think I was also a bit lost this match. I don't know if it's because this is one of the longest ones I've played, but I definitely have had some silly moments where I think I just didn't know what play I wanted to make and paid the price for it. I just want to climb, but I am currently going nowhere beyond being trash talk for literally almost half of my games. Hanzo, swap, you're terrible, or Hanzo, you're throwing if you don't swap, or dude, they're playing Orisa. You can't kill her as Hanzo swap. Is that a thing people say? What do you mean? You just wait. Hanzo can shred an Orisa. Storm arrows? What? That's why I'm confused. Hanzo is actually not bad against Orisa. When Orisa isn't gold and Orisa isn't javelin spinning, Hanzo can shred an Orisa because of the hitbox. Anyway, that's being said, that's random. For my teammates, doesn't exactly help me figure out what I'm doing wrong, sadly. Hopefully you can, though. All right, well, look, I'm just saying, like, I don't... Maybe I'm missing something. I'll be real with y'all, chat. Like, Hanzo is good against Orisa. All right, let's see. Good arrow at the beginning. Always getting that early information in case there's a Widow up there. I don't mind it. Taking high ground control to help with the soldier. Nice jump. Good flank. Plus, I'm saying, that's why I'm confused by that. I don't mind the downtime here, but I think it's a little bit too of doing nothing. Unless you make an unreal play here, I don't like what you did here. Because I think you were still helpful to your team. Yeah, okay. So you got to pick on soldier, right? And you had 2 teammates left. So you go with the 3v4. Maybe they can play hide and seek. The reason why I like the idea of you peeking this and wanting to be a little bit more proactive in this play is because you are going to create an angle for your teammates, right? So if your 2 teammates are down here, all of them are going to be looking at them, right? So if you peek this as Hanzo and start to shoot from an angle, one of them has to turn around, okay? Basically what's going to happen is they're all going to be looking at your team. And you want to peek this because now they either have to look at you and start to shoot at you, or they don't look at you and then you get free kills. But instead, what you did is you just sat up there, waited to play hide and seek, and then they just came up and killed you, and then you lost all that value. So next time in that 3v4, peek this. Help your team, because you're going to create angles, and either you shred because they don't look at you, or they look at you, and then your teammates over here have more survivability. All right? That sound good? Anyway, that's how I saw that play happening. I feel like you played that way too safe, and you could have done way more. Still got res, so that works out, but it gets res, you know, it wastes your teammate's res. Arrow there is fine, just to get some information for your team. Nice shot. Good job. Very nice shot. Nice. Below you, right in front of you, you can hear a Winston. I couldn't tell. Did you have your sound off? Because you could. That Winston was right below you. You could hear them moving around. Oh, you tell him to stop doing the jump in every shot? Yeah, I mean, like, if you want something that can help you, but, like, you're going to watch me play and go, dude, what are you talking about? You jump all the time? Definitely the jump on every shot can make it easier to be hit on hitboxes, so you can take that into account. But not bad. I mean, your aim is pretty good on Hanzo so far. Wait, if your team has an Orisa right now, does that mean the other team's telling their Hanzo to switch off because you suck against Orisa? You really like your flick shots, don't you? Dude, what is this downtime in this fight? What is going on? Dude, what just happened? Well, how did the game just, like, pause? The game just paused for, like, 3 seconds. I don't even know what... Like, it just, like, everything stopped for a second and nothing happened. I'm just like, okay, You can Hanzo ult this if you want to. Good ult. That's gonna separate their position and either get you a kill or get them out of position. I'm okay with that ult. Okay. This is, yeah. Nice kill. I like their Moira's positioning. Nice job. You really like your flick shots, though. I'm noticing that a lot. Sometimes it's okay to not have to go for those shots. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want a flick shot. But I've seen a couple times where, like, you have, like, a Hanzo standing still in a window when you try to flick shot them and then fall over. Just, you know, it's okay to just hit scan them at that point if they're standing still. I know it's a projectile, but I'm saying if they're standing still, you don't have to do that. But I get it, though. It's just an aim style. They woke the Winston up. I'm going to be honest with you. I give a little bit more leeway now in waking up a sleeping target because if it's a tank, because the tanks only gets left for 3 seconds from the moment the sleep hits. Like, I'm watching people now. I don't know if you've had this yet, chat, but have you had your supports call 3-2-1 on a tank, but they call 3-2-1 right when they sleep, and then they wake up and then they get mad that somebody got woken up, even though it's just because it's 3 seconds now on tanks? Yeah, they've had some good shots. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking away that. That's what I'm saying. They'll start to 3-2-1, but like it's already over at that point for the 3-2-1 time, and then the tank wakes up. So that's why I'm like, yeah, just be careful. Just be careful. You can ult this if you want to. I would say just look for a good... What rank is this? Gold. It's like one of my Hanzo ults. I have Hanzo ults, so I'm just going to use it ults. When you know they have a Winston who's playing as aggressive as Winston's been playing, be careful of just running into their team with your movement. You've done that a couple times where like you just basically jump into them or lunge into them, whatever the cooldown's called, and I just think you're giving them a free kill sometimes. So be careful of that. Oh, I mean, flick shot on Hanzo is a perfectly viable strategy. A lot of really good Hanzos do that. I'm just saying that one thing going up against really good Hanzos that I've seen before is like they'll have unreal flick shots, but you know, if a Widow's standing still, they're not going to try to flick shot the Widow. They're going to kill the Widow just with a normal shot. You know what I mean? Because like if they're standing still, they can just legit aim at them and kill them. Hope that makes sense. So this is not a get rid of the flick shot. It's more if somebody's just standing still, essentially AFK, you don't have to flick shot them. Meanwhile, I say this, and you're going to watch me play Widow on stream, and what's my #1 issue on Widow? Nice shot. You did a good job of the point there, so... Well, no. The reason why my #1 issue I have on Widow has absolutely nothing to do with me not being able to aim on them. It's that I flick off all my shots on the Widow. Yep. So when I say that, I also recognize that I have that as something that I've seen with my aim when I play like Widow. I flick my shots off all the time. I will be deadly accurate with Widow, and then the moment I go to shoot, I flick off my shot. That's why you ever see those rare moments when you watch me play Widow and I hit every single shot in a row and you're like, dude, what the heck was that? It's because I'm not over flicking my shots. Because I'm not flicking off of my shot. So. This is just a wild team fight. You're just going to get rolled. Somehow you're still alive, but there you go. And once again, to reiterate, flick shot style aiming is totally fine. It can be a really fun aiming style. I'm just, once again, pointing out that if they're standing still, you don't have to. All right, does that make sense? So it's not to shift up an aiming style. It's just to remember that if they're standing still, you can get a free kill. Nice shot. Morning, morning. Are we gonna have another great aiming day today? We'll find out. Yesterday was, I will be honest with you, yesterday was unreal with that. Be careful with Sombra. I mean, okay. Little bit of a hot take here, but not hot take. I think one of your problems is because you say that you win a lot of games and you lose a lot of games. I think sometimes you get too aggro on Hanzo to where, like, you're so confident you're going to hit the shots and you go in there and miss all your shots, and then you just, like, it's kind of the same thing where I watched a Junkrat recently who tried to do all of the plays that, like, really good Junkrats do, but they just kept diving into their team and getting rolled. And, like, the reason why that's happening a lot of the time, right? The reason why that's happening a lot of the time, at least in my opinion, is because like they see that they can go in there and be aggressive, and they miss all their shots, and they just fall over. So, you don't have to always play up here like you're playing like Reaper, right? You can play more mid-range, and maybe mid-range will help you a little bit with other stuff too. And I see you play mid-range at times, but I also see you do this, and then you get killed by one of their tanks. So just, find a good balance between when you want to be aggro and when you don't. Now, you could argue that was a good balance right there, but I've seen times where you just give free kills because you don't find a good balance. So, I hope that's helpful. Or I'm just talking in circles, one of the two. You're doing it there. Like, that's what I'm talking about, by the way, where, like, you didn't flick shot there. That was good. That was an example of what I meant on, like, when they're standing still. You missed the shot, but, like, it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see. So, you do have a general idea of that, so I'm glad to see that you did do that against a Widow standing still. Because I saw you do it a couple times in the Hanzo where you would flick shot them. Like, when they were just standing there. So, I'm glad to see against the Widow you changed that up. That's perfectly fine. Good job. This crosshair is not made with love. It's because it uses just a default crosshair, I think, or like a normal crosshair. Nice shot. Here we go. Good idea. Listen, we've all been there where you can't wall climb and you get stuck trying to wall climb. You just got to pretend that you were doing that on purpose. Like, yeah, I meant to do that. I felt like going high ground wasn't the play. I don't mind this, though. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. You're going to hear me say that pretty much about every single Hanzo ult ever because I just don't. Hanzo ult is not that good. So if you use a Hanzo ult, I just go, yep, I'm just happy you hit the button. You know? Are you talking about jumping while shooting? Jumping makes your movement more predictable, which is why jumping technically is a bad habit to have in Overwatch. Something I've actually reduced that habit of jumping a lot in Overwatch. I still do it a bit, but it's actually funny enough. It was after I played Marvel Rivals, and I could see that like I was jumping a lot, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably getting me killed a little bit more. So then I stopped jumping a lot in Rivals, and it was working really well. So then I started doing it in Overwatch, and it definitely making your hitbox less predictable. Obviously, is a good thing in Overwatch. But it's just it's a hard habit to break out of, and I still do it. And even though I know it, I'm still gonna end up jumping a lot in Overwatch. But it's the thought that counts, right? All right, here we go. That's the classic. That was a moment where I felt like you rushed your shot because you were like, uh-oh, they're gonna look at me. I think it's okay just to take the shot there. Like, don't have to move your ammo around there. Nice shot. Good job. Sucks they got the point, but nice shot. You do have a good flick shot. I've seen really good moments with your flick shot, too, which is nice to see. So. This is the stuff I'm talking about, this. You might be able to get out of here, but I want you to see how aggressive you got. Okay. Like, you're getting away with this, but I also want to point out why you don't want to do this all the time. Munch, thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy. Okay, never mind. I found a spot where I didn't like the Hanzo ult, but it worked out, so. Ooh, nice. Why is he in their spawn door? What? That's kind of along the lines of what I'm saying is, like, it's gonna work, but I see them do this when it's not gonna work, too. So it's like, I just want to, you're still a little bit too aggro. And keep in mind, I want to point this out, because I think sometimes players don't realize this. And, I have these moments, too. When you play too aggro, and you're up there, everybody else in your team feels obligated to go and help you. So if you find that the play style that you're trying to go with here is leading to your teammates feeling like they have to help you, generally that's where you'll lose team fights, because your teammates don't want to necessarily play this way. But if you just stand in front of their spawn, they feel obligated to help, and then next thing you know, you fall over. It doesn't mean that it will end up being a good result. We'll see though. There you go. So your position has now gotten you killed, and your team has wiped there. Now, bit of a counter argument people will make is that you did buy a minute in their spawn. I do think it's a sound strategy at times. I also think that you gave them a free retake there by having bad position. I wonder how many videos we have with Void doing that copy pasta. It's probably got to be most of them. All right, here we go. Hey, nice shot. Good job. Nice. Good job. I do want to point out again, I definitely think that your flick shots are very good. I don't want to take away your flick shots. I just want to make sure that when you have a free kill in front of you, you secure the free kill that doesn't need one. All right? So just to touch on that point again earlier. Now, this emote seems a little bit ambitious. I probably wouldn't recommend using the emote. I don't know what's happened here, why this is, you know, just be careful of that, because that's how you just fall over immediately. I'm not saying that you're going to lose every game doing that, but it's not going to help. So I would recommend not doing that. Or do it in a safer spot. That is an ambitious ultimate. Yes. You know, part of that Hanzo ult resonates with me in the sense that I do the same thing. But I do it because I have zero expectations of that ultimate. In top 500 or even like, what am I, in Masters games, etc. So, yeah. Getting a little bit closer again. You know the venture's there, so you don't want to engage that. I know you wanted to maybe touch the point, but there's nothing you can do about that. They're going to get the point more than likely, so just do it the best you can to get some kills here. The team's already here, so I don't think you need to necessarily back up just yet. Nice, good job. Egg, thanks for the 777. Thank you, appreciate it.
I am your biggest fan, the eggs in your fridge.
Wonderful, thank you. That was great. Oh, watch out. Uh-oh, that's that. Okay. Well, I would, once again, it's okay to back away a little bit and not be in the front line with your team. I want you to look at the heroes that they have. They have a Reaper and a Venture. So it was working, but after you got the kills, go reposition yourself to be in a much better spot than right in front of their spawn doors against a Venture and a Reaper. You're playing, your position in there is like you're playing Venture or Reaper. It's not that like you're playing Hanzo. Like, take that mid-range. You know, the strength of Hanzo can be mid-range. If you know, playing close for a little bit, I'm fine with, but you know, don't give him that free kill. Nice shot. Like I said, definitely got a good shot on some of this. It's been nice. I do like this though. Where you're at right now is fine. Don't be afraid to Hanzo ult this in like 2 seconds. I get going for the Reaper there. I'm okay with that. I would ult now to help your team with just the choke. I would have used that a little bit sooner, but the reason why I wanted you to ult sooner is because they're breaking through the choke. So like that's the best way to help your team. So when you don't ult like immediately at that choke to like buy time for your team, they just eventually grind your team down. Which is surprising because I saw a lot of your Hanzo ults just be random Hanzo ults that you just use for fun. So it's just surprising, you know? Your team might be able to take this back. Nope. Nope. Just no kills. Let me ask you this question. Why were you, like, you have a ball on point. Why are you running it down mid to their team? Like, your number one issue so far when it comes to, like, your Like, you're doing it again. Like you're playing Hanzo. You have a wrecking ball on point with full HP. You have people coming from spawn. And your gameplay, rather than just sit here in a pretty much would have been a numbers advantage because your spawn's here and they're running back, you run into their team and give them a free kill. And you would have lost a teammate. So yeah, you would have had a numbers advantage. You would have had a 4v3 because there's the Bastion. So like, why do that? This is what I've been saying. Like, I feel like your problem isn't the aim issue. It's just your decision making becomes a little bit rough at times. Like at the beginning of the game when you sat up on the high ground and didn't help your team. Or now when the best thing you can do is play range, play angles, and get free kills, you just run into their team and give them a free pick. And then this is what you've been doing a lot of. And it works sometimes, so you're like, oh, I must keep doing that. But it's about knowing when it works and then when it doesn't work. And I don't think you've quite figured that part out yet. No? I just don't think you figured that part out yet. Is this the little bit of Sombra gameplay we're going to get? Hey, not a bad delay. It kind of fits your playstyle more, too. Alright. Good job putting the hour around that area. It's always good to scout that area if you can. Nice job. Scan. Not bad. Doing some damage. Playing good distance right now. Remember, don't like face tank him. Okay, I want you to look a little bit towards where that Bastion is after this. Winston might be kind of low though. Yeah, look where the Bastion is after you kill this Winston. I think you'll get free kills. I don't mind you playing aggressive on the Bastion here. Bastion doesn't have turret form. Now you gotta get away. There you go. If they don't have turret form, I don't mind that engagement a little bit, but you know, I feel like it's target priority sometimes. I feel like you, at times, don't know who you want to go for, so you end up kind of just... I wish I could explain it. It's like, I see you looking at the Winston, and the Winston was a free kill, but then you wouldn't want to go for the Winston because you wanted... That was... No. Kill the Junkrat there. They're one shot. You saw they were one shot. Go Storm Arrow them, like... No. And once again, your positioning. Do you notice how you ended up in the back of their spawn when you didn't need to? Why are you doing that? That's your number one issue, by the way. You mentioned like that you've been struggling to win some games. You're not going to win every game, but you could probably, if this is your consistent positioning, you could probably minimize your losses by about 15 losses to wins. Because if that's your positioning, you're giving up games sometimes. Maybe 10 games, let's be honest. Right. Watch out. Here we go. Up into the air. Winston's one. Winston's one. Got cleansed. This is an interesting team fight. I mean, hey, this fits your playstyle way more than when you were on Hanzo. Oh, damn. This is awful. Like, not your fault. It's just like a long team fight. Damn. I feel like your Sombra gameplay has been pretty good. I don't know, in the limited amount of time I've seen Sombra. It is still going. I don't know how this is happening. What is going on? Oh, there it is. Finally. That was a long delay by them. Holy crap. That was long. Huge Storm Arrow in. Nice shots. There's a Venture right there. Put a lot of damage output. Nice. Remember what we've learned here. Do not run into their team. You're up in numbers right now, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of wiggle room on this one. I'm fine with this. But you need to recognize you need to back out soon. Okay. This is where you need to be out of here. Do not stay here. That once again, your teammates feel obligated to have to play closer. You can Hanzo ult this. Nice Hanzo ult. Gonna force them to the left so you know they're gonna be there. Target priority. Look main. Look main. Look main. Help your teammates. Don't play too close. Look main. You can shoot at the Tracer for a second, but don't be too concentrated on them, because if you just get distracted, the Zarya's gonna end up popping off. Because you're giving them too much space with this Tracer. You're getting distracted. Target priority. I've been mentioning that. Target priority. Tracer's behind. I know you want to help, but like you're giving the other players main. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Your teammates ended up winning that for you, because that was looking rough. You were spending so much time trying to help with the Tracer in the background. That was just tough. Like, yeah, shoot at the Tracer here and there, but don't get distracted by that. So, anyway, here's what I'll say to you. At least in my opinion, I think your number one issue is that you need to play Hanzo more like you're playing Hanzo. And like I said, take the free kills when you have them. Like I said, I thought your flick shot was great. You were hitting a lot of really good flick shots. But definitely take the free kills when you have them. And also, like, target priority is another thing I would work on. Like, I saw many times, Winston's at 1 HP, you don't go to kill the Winston. You're in the overtime game, and there's a Junkrat. And your option is, rather than kill the Junkrat with 1 HP in front of you, you decide to do a random Hanzo ult. When in reality, you could have killed the Junkrat, got a health pack, survived that, and then been fine. But at the flip side of that, it goes back to your number one issue. Your positioning. You constantly have this way of starting off in good position, and as the team fight gets better for your team, you run in front, and then you don't stop. You never reset. You just always end up in the front, and then eventually they get free kills on you. I can tell you right now, mechanically, you had a lot of good plays. But what you need to fix is you need to minimize on how much time you're in front of them, playing like you're playing Reaper. You were on Hanzo. You were not playing Reaper. You're not playing Venture. You're not playing Tracer. You're not going into their spawn and being aggressive. You're playing Hanzo. Mid-range to long range is where you're gonna benefit. It's where you're gonna strive. It's where you're gonna get a lot of really good plays. Stop running into their team like that. And if you do that, I think you're gonna have much better results, and I think you will actually be able to turn it around and win more games. But that's your problem right now. Is just if you have bad target priority and you then have bad positioning based off of one team fights, you're gonna have like 50-50 Overwatch. And honestly, that's basically what you're having. Is a bit of 50-50 Overwatch. So you need to clean up that part of your gameplay. You do that, next thing you know, you're winning 51% of your games, 52% of your games, and now you're out of gold. So that's what I would recommend. I think if you improve in that area, you're going to be in a good spot, but that's definitely where you need to start, all right? If you like this video, make sure to the like button, subscribe to all three YouTubers if you haven't, leave a comment, all that helps. If you want to submit your own Spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That is where we do that. We also record these live on stream. If you look below the webcam, you can see the Twitch chat. We also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.